Activists, remember, technically we're out here kind of on our lonesome. Yeah, we need plenty of support. So join the friendly team. Don't mean you have to be the winning team. Join the friendly team. Whatever it is, we'll never double cross you. It won't help nobody double cross you. That's all we can say. And whenever you find us, you will always find us working for the cause of good and the poor and the needy, and that's what we do. It's not only what we do, that's what we like doing. That's what we want to do. Technically, we'll close with this, but we don't want nothing that this society, as it is now, has to offer people, except this opportunity we've been given to work toward good, to work toward improving the condition of the human being, the animal life, and the earth itself. That's what we're trying to do. And we're trying to slide into home base in paradise, if we can just get, we don't have to come in standing up. If we can just slide in, safely, we'll be all right. Are there any questions? Are there any comments about anything that was said?
Yeah, actually, it was a brother that thanked you. He said you helped him a couple years back. Let me read it. So yeah, this is from Abu Wasif. He said, "Assalamu alaikum, Aki. This is Abu Wasif, your brother in faith, who you helped 2 years ago in D.C. Me and my twin daughters. I moved to New Roads, Louisiana, with my wife, and alhamdulillah, things are good. Just wanted to let you know I appreciate you and look up to you. Keep up the good works, and may Allah Almighty continue to grant you success, my dear brother. My number is this. Text me your number because I don't have the number. I saved it last time. Barakallah feek. Assalamu alaikum."
Very good, very good. So that's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. He's common. He gets on here often.
Okay, well, that's good.
Check YouTube.
When you do stuff and you forget about what you've done and other people, that is very important. That's very important. That you forget about what you've done, but other people remember it. And they think it was very important. That is something. Are there any more questions or comments? Anything that we want to?
Yeah, so I had a question. It's kind of on the topic of, on no reproach thing.
Right.
So we know our policy, is no reproach for basically, Muslim leaders kind of hanging us out to dry. But do you think, they gonna let it go? The fact that, say, we're sincere. Do you think they gonna let it go? No reproach with us for being sincere Muslims.
Wait a minute. Who's supposed to let us go? The system, the people, or?
I'm talking about Muslim leadership. That kind of black
the
policy.
Muslim leadership. That is a good question.
Yeah.
Look. The environment right now, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, says that everybody has basically abused us as a people. The immigrant community, that's, okay. That being true, for whatever reason, I was looking in the paper the other day, today, that I had cut out that article with Siraj's son in it. They was in New Mexico somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever it was, whether it was to distract attention or whether it really, I don't know. But I know when they put that in the newspaper, a lot of people, that slowed down invitation. Did you notice that? The invitations that he was getting before that had a certain consistency. After that, maybe it was just a time. They're not as consistent. In fact, I go so far as to say you don't even see his picture hardly no more. I mean, do you?
Not that I really was paying attention. I think the last time I saw him was on the cover of the magazine, and he was digging a well. Or something.
Digging a well over in
that's
over
the
in
last time
Africa,
I saw
in
him.
Ghana. That was a year or two ago.
Right.
That was maybe to show the world that he's doing something. La tatraba. No reproach. That's what we say.
Right.
That's what we mean. We cannot control their heart. We just cannot control their heart. But I would feel we're hopeful. See, there's some stuff that pop up. You don't always know when you're going to get a certain response. You know, rebellions, revolutions are like that. You didn't expect certain thing to happen, and bam, there it is. Now, with the brothers, you know, the brothers do not, I don't think the brothers dislike me at all as a person. I don't think they dislike our movement. I don't think they disagree with, no one has ever voiced a disagreement with anything we've said. You see what I mean? I have never heard, whether it's Siraj, whether it's Zayd, they all just look silly. You know, I haven't heard the brothers in Philadelphia, I haven't heard, nobody has ever approached me, maybe some little inky-dinky stuff, but I haven't been approached with, hey man, that's out of pocket, that ain't, you know. So, to answer your question, do we think because we say la tatraba to them, will they say and feel the same to us?
Right.
But that's not our obligation. Our obligation is to do what we said and mean it. The rest is on them. Now, how do I feel about it? I feel optimistic. I feel optimistic about the environmental circumstances. They would have to be mean-spirited and almost hateful to not have some response. You know what I mean?
Right.
They would have to be like hateful. I mean, like, for instance, this is not, I'm not a crybaby, but I'm the one that's been busted upside the head. They decided to steal our property. They did everything, right? We ain't did nothing to nobody. We ain't went to nobody's masjid. We ain't did nothing to nobody. Technically, we haven't did anything to anybody, right? So, I feel a little bit positive about this period from a Negro perspective. And my belief, generally, I'll just be brief about this. There's a lot of things working in the wind. Remember I said thing about domesticating the white man, training the white man. Do you know a lot of the stuff that they do now technically would help us go forward? They're doing almost everything. Okay. I believe that they want me personally back in Oakland to deal with this case, to deal with the property, to deal. I think they're going farther. They've been drug out longer than they wanted to be drug out. They didn't want it to last no 6 years, this part, and 16 years for the other part. You know. Yeah, it's been a long run. So, when we go out there, we're going to take 2 legal approaches, and we'll save 4 or 5. So we'll probably be dealing with this legal approach for several years, no matter what happens, because it's not just one, the bank. It's not just 2, the property. It's all the stuff that's been going on with the OPD and all of that. So we're going to be dealing with all of that. There's a possibility that they would like to flood us with money. And you said, well, it don't fit with what? It does fit. Because that would be, sometimes they think that when you get what you've been praying for, you mess it up. Yeah. So they're thinking, well, if he went into court and won a case for $40 million, that's what we're going for, 40, 50 million, just whatever we like. This is our money. It's their bank. Right? They already did it. Okay. So, I don't want to get into too deep. See, all along the way, it's been, in fact, one of the tattletales, I was talking to him, I used to talk to one of the tattletales all the time. And I mentioned they didn't expect this, they didn't expect that. This is a great spiritual elevation. He said, well, it's probably on a 2-track. They, you know, they try the other first. If that don't finish you off, then they would come back around with the other 2 tracks. You know what I mean? Salt and honey, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I'll close with this. I feel personally, I feel optimistic about this. It don't make no difference. Whatever it is, we ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. We're just not gonna do anything to anybody, including the white man. No, we don't. I'll close with it, but do you ever watch any of these old war films, or not a holocaust, but you know when people in concentration camps, people are getting battlefield pictures from World War I, World War II, like the one Chosin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when the people are frozen to death, that stuff is ridiculous. I don't have no passion for that stupid. That is so stupid. And this big system, look what it do to them people. And they tell the people that we're their enemy. And they got them froze to death over and over again. It ain't one time. It's like Vietnam, Korea, you know what I mean, Iraq, they just wait a few years till they forget, which they do. The people forget. And they have them right back in another war. And now they got people walking around on stilts. Right, the legs, they walk around on stilts. They commit suicide. It ain't nobody never committed more suicides than they got killed on the battlefield. And they don't care. But they tell them people we their enemies. And some of them are dumb enough to believe it. passion for just slaughter. I don't have that. I wrote it my stuff. I never did, but that was a time. I don't. Even now, I don't mind jihad, fi-sabilillah, and all that. But I wrote in my stuff years ago. Kindness is not a weakness. It's not. I just don't have that. I don't have a killer instinct. Now, if stuff happened right away, then you respond. When people would come and talk crazy to Masjid, I'd take my iron bar and I'd beat them to death. Then, that's almost 40 years ago. Because that's what you did in those days. I was 6 months out of Jahiliyyah, well, actually a few years out. But, you know, you still had those customs. But I wouldn't do that now. I just wouldn't do it. I don't have the feel for that stuff. I don't have the feel for it. I think the human being has a problem with tazkiyah bil nafs. He just, and if you don't handle him just right, he'll kill you. But he's always done that. So we got a real handy job of how to help the human being in the process of tazkiyah bil nafs. It all gets down to the purification of the soul, purification of the self. To where a guy I wouldn't want to hurt nobody. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody's house. I don't want, you know, whatever it is, I just get it myself, or I don't want it. It don't make no difference. That's possible. That is possible. No, it's utopian. It's utopian. I know what it is. I know it sounds just right out of I know what the heck it sounds like. I mean, no, the human history, you're talking about all this love stuff with human history staring you in the face. Repetitive human history. It's repetitive human history. You can't change it. It's what they do. But I'm going to close with this finally. Personally, I have a choice to what I want to work toward, right? And I don't want to work toward that stuff. I don't want to be the big man on the block, and I don't want billions of dollars, tell nobody what to do, and you know what I mean, and the tenders and the cutie pies. I don't happen to, you know, thank God I'm old enough that I don't even bother with it no more. I don't want it. I don't care. You see what I mean? This is what, maybe it's just what I want to do. So I'm choosing what I want to do. I'm not letting life choose it for me. That's what I really want to say. So thank you very much. Aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum.